Pokemon Generation 8 for Nintendo Switch is coming this year, and this is perhaps my most anticipated game of all time. Hello friends, Greyninja here, and I'm here to talk to you about the reveal of Pokemon Generation 8. Our anticipation and our hype have led us only so far, but we need Game Freak and Nintendo to just drop a trailer for what could very well be the most important game on the Nintendo Switch, and possibly the most important Pokemon game of all time. Pokemon, as we know, has been a handheld franchise that has dabbled in console offerings in the form of spin-offs, a bit more of a hybrid between a spin-off and a main game with games such as Coliseum and XD, and I guess even the Stadium series. Now, we're getting our first official main series adventure on the Nintendo Switch. We had Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee to tide us over, and now it's time for the main course, and it's time for Game Freak to unveil the curtain for us. It's hard to speculate about a game that we know next to nothing about, besides the fact that it is coming out this year. It's even harder because this is such a big change for the franchise, and we don't know how far Game Freak is going to take it. What I want to do in this video is talk a bit about, I guess, the anticipation surrounding the game, and do my best job to depict the ideal, but not too far-fetched, reveal for Pokemon Generation 8. Now, as we know, to reveal a generation, it takes time. Game Freak, for the past few years, has been taking their time with reveals. They start with a game announcement, the starters and legendaries seem to be announced together, and little by little, we get new information on the world, the Pokemon, the new features, and something that just shakes up the series. Looking back on the 3DS era seems to be our best bet when looking forward to the next generation of Pokemon, and how Game Freak will choose to present it to us. X and Y gave us big changes in the form of the Fairy type and Mega Evolutions. Sun and Moon shook up the formula completely, getting rid of gyms and instead giving us island trials, as well as Alolan forms. A lot of these things were not revealed to us when the game was initially announced. We had to wait for them, which is why a reveal for Pokemon Generation 8 on the Switch is all but inevitable to happen in the near future. If you want my best guess, I think because Pokemon Day is drawing near, sometime next week might honestly be the perfect time for them to reveal this game to us. The only other route I can see them going in is something similar to what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild, which is to show us very, very little until E3 happens, and then blow the game out to us during E3, and make that their big 2019 title, which it is. It's the biggest game coming out in 2019. I want to say that that's a biased thing because it sounds biased, but Pokemon has been one of Nintendo's dare I say, Nintendo's most successful franchise when talking about not just the games, but the pop culture surrounding it. Cards, anime, a live-action film about Detective Pikachu, a mobile phenomenon. Pokemon is something special, and Nintendo knows that, Game Freak knows that, which is why I think they know that this reveal has to be perfect. Now, I do think that the reveal we will get for this game is going to be similar to the past two, giving us a glimpse of the region while also showcasing the starters and legendaries. The reason being is because we are going to be seeing a full HD main series Pokemon game for the first time, and its scale could be absolutely massive, even at just first glance. It has been promised to be a game for the fans of Pokemon, for the fans of the handheld games. This is for us. And that excites me to dangerous degrees of hype, because I want this game to be the best it can be as a fan of the Pokemon series. Now, one of the leaks that has been going around from a reliable source, who most famously leaked the Direct from last week, King Zell, he says that this game is on Breath of the Wild's level. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, aka the game that I think defines Switch the very best. That game was a statement to just what Nintendo could do if they wanted to reimagine a series, while still retaining a lot of the charm that made Zelda so great. I believe that Pokemon Generation 8 will not only be a statement like Breath of the Wild, but I think it could be a statement even bigger than Breath of the Wild, with just how wide of an audience that Pokemon appeals to. Despite the mission of wanting to please hardcore fans of the series, an HD Pokemon game on the scale of Breath of the Wild is going to get everyone to pay attention. And although we won't have specific details, the initial trailer for Pokemon Generation 8 will set some sort of precedent that will give us a very good indication of where we believe that this generation will go to. Now, it's fair to be cautious, but it's also fair to be optimistic. There's never been a truly bad Pokemon game in the main series. Maybe Pokemon hasn't been for you. Maybe you're tired of the formula. Maybe it's all just too much for you these days with them approaching 1,000 Pokemon. Although I cannot personally relate, I understand. Which is why I believe that this game should be big in order to simultaneously appease fans while drawing in a crowd that may have neglected this series or grown tired of it. Which is why this first trailer, this first statement of a very long and beautiful essay, needs to say a lot. But like a well-constructed paragraph, it's about quality, not quantity. When you're showing me the starters, I want to see their personalities. When you're showing me the legendaries, I want to be in awe at how much of a spectacle they are to look at. When I see a trainer running around this new beautiful world, whether it be open or linear, I want to look at the Pokemon master that my 3-year-old self wanted me to be when I grew up. I want this video to start a series of me talking about more specific things that I want for this game, because obviously an introduction is brief and you can only speculate so much. Although I hesitated to make something like this, I knew it had to be done. I want us all to be on the same page. I want us all to know that this reveal, no matter where we're coming from, if we're interested in Pokemon, we want this to be big. We got the nostalgia over with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now it's time for a new generation, full of new Pokemon, new experiences, new story elements, new features, and new adventures. All the while being the first full-length console adventure for the Pokemon series. I'm trying not to be over-optimistic, but I genuinely believe that if Game Freak puts their all into this, then we could have the game that we've always wanted as Pokemon fans. If you're already a fan, it almost makes this easy. You love Pokemon, and you're going to play this game almost regardless of anything. Which is why I've narrowed it down to 2 questions that Game Freak has to answer for us, if we want this game to live up to the legacy that only fans like us could dream of. Why do people love Pokemon, and why should people be excited for this game? Game Freak has the difficult task of capturing that love in the most exciting way possible, while trying not to let any of their fans down. I believe if Game Freak can answer those 2 questions successfully within the confines of this first trailer, then we have nothing to fear for the future of Pokemon, and we should all be very excited to see just exactly what comes next after this initial reveal. Thank you guys very much for watching. This video was unscripted and very open-ended. I kind of just wanted to touch on what I feel about what the announcement of Generation 8 could be, and I kind of put that into a mishmash of words, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this style of video, please like, subscribe, comment. I know I might have sounded kind of serious, but I was actually getting kind of emotional talking about this because this is a series that I love more than any other at its core. Greyninja, hydro pumping away. I'll get back to you with more Pokemon videos in the very near future. Thank you so much for watching.